Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Analytics Are For the Nerds special podcast episode with just me and Ryan Mura. Ellie is not here with us today doing comedy. Crazy, trying to have a career. But the two of us are going to continue to draft like we always do. We're going to look back at a couple ones we've already done and then give you guys a chance to join us in our latest BBM 5. So, in Ellie's famous words, let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up.
Well, what's up? Sorry, I'm not used to
we
Ellie
both read
being
the same
there.
line from the script.
Use the Ellie being there for us to bring us back in. But yeah, man, we were going to take the week off, and then today I got the itch, and I knew I was going to be drafted, and I said, let's fucking do it online. Yeah, I know the last episode I wasted 10 minutes talking about Hard 75. And like we all knew, failure was going to be close by, and it smells delicious. I will say that failure smells good on me. So I am ready to draft, and we're going to give some guys, anybody wants to draft with us, the opportunity to come in and draft with us. We're going to take a quick look at a couple of the drafts we already did. We did one big board before the draft, one BBM 5. I think it was what I just said, May 1st. So our first one here in a couple months. We'll give everybody. We'll let you know when we're jumping in. To hope a few of you guys could jump in with us. What are we gonna do, Ryan? You want to do one together? And then, I know we were talking about maybe doing two separate. Let's do one together. Let's do one for the brand. And depending on how this wine goes down, maybe we'll do one against each other after.
Team pod, yeah, let's draft one together and see how it goes. I think it's always fun doing it with someone else because it can kind of give you a check and balance on some of your player takes, right? There's certain players that obviously if you have a high exposure to, you're very in on it on them for the season. But it's nice to kind of, when you're faced with, let's say, a couple of players that are in the same ADP range, having a debate with someone about what's best for that team, it's always great to get a different perspective. So hoping we get some of those interesting debates and discussions tonight.
100%. Well, let's go and take a look first and foremost at our big board pre-draft. These are always dangerous with you and I because we love ourselves some young players. I have not looked at either of these. I don't know if you have. No, you would have to have access to my account. So you definitely haven't. I haven't looked. Actually, this one's going to be our. This one's actually going to be our BBM. So we'll look at this one first before. So
can you click the grid to show the draft?
Yeah. So here we are at the 1-7. We went Bijan. So this is May 1st, right? Bijan at 1-7 feels like, the first round hasn't changed too much here in the first round. You are seeing, at least I feel like, and I don't know how much you're paying attention to other sites besides Underdog, but it feels like an FFPC. And here you're seeing him and Brees kind of creep up as there is more and more uncertainty with, for me at least, JJ McCarthy, Joe Burrow's wrist, CD Lamb not in camp, Tyreek Hill beating people up every other week. There's some concern with those top wide receivers. So I've been pushing up those running backs into my top 3 or 4 in those spots a lot. So to get Bijan here, 7, good start. We come back with Devontae Adams. I do not remember that conversation. All I know is that I am not drafting a lot of Devontae Adams. So I'd imagine that was your call.
It's funny you say that. I'm not big on Devontae either. and I wouldn't imagine having much of a different position back at the beginning of May than I do now. Just quickly on your earlier point about the running backs versus the earlier wide receivers, I'm with you on Bijan and Brees, kind of bumping them up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if by August, once we start seeing some of the preseason highlights of Brees Hall, taking it to the house, or Bijan, getting featured or having a big explosive play, like I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the top 5 consistently, one of the two of them, or maybe both. And some of the concerns with Jefferson still pushing down and Darnold starting, right? I mean, there's still going to be an effect from that news, right? That Darnold's in the clubhouse. Your boy, Sam Darnold, is in the clubhouse.
I think it helps. Me, I love me some Sam Darnold. I think it helps. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Sure. So yeah, and looking at all of them, all of the picks right now that we've looked at, there's nothing really surprising. They're right all about where ADP is currently for the first 4 picks.
Cup we got, yeah. So Cup we got at a pretty decent value.
That was an
Cup
auto
at 42. Pick. He's going at like 35, I believe, which is so high for him. Let me just check here. I got this. Yeah, 35.3 was his ADP. So I got to imagine that's why we went Cup there, because as I'm looking early on this team, it does not look like we have tons of it wasn't like we were focusing on correlation. It did not seem like and stacking.
I have to stop you, Louis. No, it was not. It was not a purposeful pick on our part. It was an auto pick for Cooper Kupp. We timed out on that pick. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
We were trying to take, I think maybe Zay or Tank, maybe. I can't remember who we were trying to take instead, but it was not Cooper Kupp.
You are right, and that's why we get the seven pick value there, probably because he was obviously at the top of the queue. But yeah, I know neither of us like Kupp and that much, and he doesn't really fit with the team. We did end up pairing him with Stafford later, but as we go through here, Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk, JSN. Quickly, I'll just say on those 3 guys, I had a conversation with Dave Tripoli, sorry, on Twitter today about, he was kind of down on Odunze. My take is I'm up on Odunze. I would bet that he's not the number 3 guy in that offense. It's just, who are you betting against in the top 2? And his point was, and I agree. So I think a lot of people are leaning against Keenan Allen, mostly because of injury pass. I know you, right? Am I mistaken? You're pretty up on him.
I mean, so actually last stream, when we were with the Go Bills guys, we talked about, I think Sean Stutzman actually is really high on Keenan Allen this year.
Okay.
And I was pushing back on that. So there's a couple of reasons for it. I'm big on Odunze with you. I do think that, look, Caleb Williams is coming into this offense. He doesn't have necessarily like any favorites, right? Set out, right? There's not like there's an incumbent. He's had any rapport with any of these guys. So I could just see him coming in there and starting to just throw to Odunze right away. And Odunze might get the easier of the looks because of the other 2 guys that are out there on the field with him. So I'm with you on Odunze if you're saying that you're all in on him, but I'm also I'm not shying away from Keenan Allen, because I think two of these guys could have significant value, and it's just about finding the right 2.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that's exactly how I feel. And I just want to bet. I mean, even with Odunze, and let's see where he went. So now he goes right after Allen here. As much as I want to say Odunze is not going to be the 3rd out of 3 guys, I also don't want to take him before Keenan Allen and ADP, because I feel like that's a reach. Like, you still want to kind of stay within ADP as much as you can in the early rounds. But I mean, we go, I don't know. I'm looking at this team and I'm interested now. I'll go back and listen to this thing, but man, this does not look like at least a team I build. But just like you said, That's probably the best thing about drafting with each other is we get off of regular type of builds. I like Kirk a lot. I like JSN a lot, but we're 7 rounds in and we have 0 stack, 0 correlation. And then I do know that we take the 2 running backs, 2 rookie running backs. We've talked, anybody that's listening right now is probably knows where we are in both those guys. We both are big on them. I am just a little bit starting to get a little bit nervous about Brooks and how healthy he'll be, and how quickly he'll get started. I am not worried about, the argument against Benson is James Conner. And man, that does not worry me at all.
Just like you, I can't figure out why the market hasn't seemingly corrected to what the proper position is on Trey Benson, which is, why are you not excited about that landing spot, right? It's kind of like, and I get Coleman's in a different spot, but it's just like with Coleman, right? Everyone was talking about, whoever the rookie is that's going to be drafted by the Bills is going to be, a premium pick in fantasy, right? And then Coleman gets drafted there, and it's like, meh, why? Just because he's a wide receiver 8 in the draft class, in one that's extremely heavy and in a position that's been prioritized by the NFL in the last couple of years. So what? That doesn't have anything to do with, what the opportunity is and what I expect him to get in the, as far as volume goes, his first year. So I'll always find a way to turn a conversation back into Keon Coleman talk. So I did it again. So
you absolutely will. Quickly, let's wrap this one up before we go look at the pre-draft one. And one thing you're noticing here, as I do feel like we're away from stacking and correlation. Look at the numbers on the right. I mean, we are beating ADP. I think we started kind of drafting for value here. We get Purdy 26 picks late, Stafford 10 picks late, May 10 picks late. Brooks, we were early on. Marshawn Lloyd, we get a nice little value on there. And Marshawn Lloyd and Roschon Johnson are 2 guys that I'm picking a lot in that range against the other guys. So that must have been definitely something we agreed on, or I helped push.
Oh, yeah.
Our wide receivers.
We agreed on that for sure. And
yeah, I know you're big on Roschon too. Our wide receivers are strong and they're going to put up points. And, Jameson Williams hits. He's even becoming a better value than this now here as we're late in June. But even, May 1st, we get him at 114. I'm getting him even later than that lately. Sure, be down on him in lineup leagues. I still want this guy over so many people in that area on best ball, and I just keep on finding myself priced into him because I just think his upside's too big. Where are you in Jameson?
Yeah, he's going 30 picks or so ahead of that now. ADP.
Oh, ahead of that?
30. Yeah.
I thought he was falling more, Jameson. I could be wrong.
No. His ADP right now is up to about, I would say he's in the 80s. 83, I think, is where he's at. So he's almost 20 picks ahead. I love that value. So we got him almost 40 picks ahead of ADP, what he is currently. So as our bottom of the roster last wide receiver, I mean, that's a beautiful pick. Kmet, I'm hot and cold on him. I'm starting, I'm sure everyone kind of saw the discourse about, him recently on, whether or not there's going to be enough targets to go around. I don't know. He's shown he can earn targets in the past. And all I'm looking for from my tight end is a couple of spike weeks. And I don't know, can he catch a touchdown or two in 2 to 3 weeks, enough to make a difference on your team to push you ahead? Maybe. And then you balance it with Likely and Sanders, the last one being a complete dart throw with volume potential. So an interesting team, for sure. And it's nice to look back, almost 2 months later and see how, if anything, the ADP values have changed.
I keep on sharing the wrong screen. Sorry, hold on. Let me see. All right. Well, let's get on to the other one here, if I could ever get to it. All right. these are always fun to look back. And I spent a lot of time. What the frig? I'm just going to get off of this totally. How about that? These are always fun. I spent the whole day today looking back at my big boards because you're just trying to find that one that you just got lucky with, with correlation and stacking rookies and all that. And I'm not all the way through, and I didn't even get a chance to look at this team. So I'm glad to kind of check it out, and we'll pull up the draft board first. We're at 1-4, Tyreek, and again, I mean, nothing you do in the first round I want to dispute too much. Harrison at 21 is the best you're going to get him at, and that's kind of crazy, right? Like, don't you feel like the hype was so big? It's kind of crazy that he's even gone up since the preseason hype, which is weird, but I'm fine with him at 21. I am, it's really been hard for me to click on him at 12 or 13. It's the sexy pick, but 21 is great value there. Look at Olave at 28, man. Like, he's going, early second. So Olave falling us to 28 there is a great value. James Cook, we're probably a little early on there.
I guess he's fallen slightly, going, but right? He's fallen like to mid 50s, but for in my opinion, no good reason, right? I mean, there was no significant competition added in the draft. They clearly are going to focus on running the football. Why not? I mean, I'm extremely happy with that start through 4 rounds. I mean, that's an incredible start.
I don't see the negative pushback on him, and we have 69 watchers right now. Sorry. Half a glass of wine. No. I don't. Him and Rachaad White are the two that I just don't understand why they're losing steam, basically by not getting any competition. Like, I mean, they were not affected at all. I am not considering Bucky Irving competition, especially the way that they sound like what they sound like when they talk about him. But
I'll push back though on Rachaad White. Rachaad White. Like, my only concern with him is he was not particularly effective last year in the touches that he did receive. He was a total volume play, and that's kind of how Canales likes to run his system. Now it's a completely different system. I think a downgrade for the offense overall. And so, am I expecting that he's necessarily going to get all of those touches and somehow outproduce that anomaly of a season that I think last year was? I'm betting against the Tampa Bay offense kind of overall. I hope it's not a blind spot for me or, something that I'm wrongly relying on, but I can't see that they're going to outperform what they did last year. So
I'm sure there's people watching that want to jump in with us here on a draft. So let's go run through this really quick, and maybe I'll have a question for you at the end, or we'll look at the overall team. But so we go with Dunze. He probably loses a little bit because of draft, but whatever. It's still, I like him there. JSN, I know we're both high on. Jordan Addison feels a little bit, obviously that's before the Kirk Cousins trade. So feels like a little bit of a miss, but still fine with him as a best ball player. Our boy Tajay Spears, we could have gotten quite a bit later, a few months back, but that's fine. We get value in Zach Moss the next round because everybody wanted to believe that he wasn't going to be the guy, and he's there. I mean, we get him a pick before Chase Brown. I think he's going about 40 picks before Chase Brown now. No, am I right?
So Zach Moss, I think, is settled in right around like pick 90. And Chase Brown has fallen to like 120. So he's about 30 picks ahead.
Okay. Mike Williams, I'm back and forth on him. Dalton Schultz, that's my boy, although I think he's going to have trouble getting targets, but whatever. Drake May, Deshaun Watson, Bucky Irving, as I just talked shit about him.
We love him now, actually. Funny to say that.
I liked him pre-draft, and honestly, only because people I trust liked him. And then, even the spot was a little bit intriguing, right? And I just have not loved what I've heard coming out of that camp since. But Jalen Polk, Love that
love that.
late. Juwan, we get a little bad luck with the injury, but who knows? We AJ Dillon might be a nothing. Tank could be something. Bryce, we both love, and Ertz, I don't know if he stays healthy. That's fine. We're lacking a tight end there. That's obvious. We'll do this real quick. Look at the team. May, Watson, Young, I'm fine there as far as there's enough upside. 3 different bye weeks we were lucky with. Running back room's mid, but that's all you need. We need Bucky Irving and Tank Bigsby to get some spike games. Hill, Harrison, Olave, Adunze, JSN, Addison, Williams, Polk. Obviously, the strength of our team. And then the tight ends, we're gonna have to get a reemergence from Zach Ertz. In his
crazier things have happened. That's the thing.
Crazier things have happened.
You look at some of the teams, even from previous years, where you're like, why did I take this random guy? Or even the other day I was thinking about taking Jared Wiley in a best ball draft, just because, listen, if something happens to Kelsey, or if they really try to sit him down, who's to say Jared Wiley can't have a couple of important games at the end of the season? So
I guess you've forgotten about Irv Smith Jr., you asshole. Irv Smith Jr. he's the backup there. He signed with KC. I mean, I don't know if he's going to make the team, but Irv Smith Jr.
Everyone that's been excited about Irv Smith Jr. has been wildly disappointed in the past.
Listen,
so I'm going to pin my hope to a guy that hasn't disappointed us yet.
I tweeted earlier that we all have a friend that still thinks Laviska Shenault's going to have a year this year.
That's me. I'm that guy.
You're that guy, and I'm the guy that believes that we're going to get a year finally out of Irv Smith Jr. All right, let's get into it. Wait, anybody wants to get in a draft with us, go ahead, get into your underdog now. I will let you know when we are jumping in here. Am I on the underdog screen now?
Yeah, let's just do a 3-putt Thursday while we're at it.
Yeah, let's do a quick 3-putt Thursday. All right, I'm gonna jump in. We'll go in here now. 30 seconds. We're gonna jump in here. You guys want to jump in? Hopefully we catch you. 3, 2, 1. And we cannot detect your location. All right, don't pull out. Everybody pull out. Why can they not detect my location? Let's see here. Okay. Location area. Please. What the fuck? All right, everybody hold on. Sorry. Everyone's going to be in drafting. Share us your drafts. I don't understand. What am I supposed to do here? Let's see. Pull out. Anybody know? Do you know? Are you a technological guy? If you are technological, tell me what I'm doing wrong in the chat. Location privacy settings. Brian.
Go to privacy and security tracking. No, I mean, this is through an app. I'm not sure how you would change any of the settings through. Maybe it's through your internet. I'm not sure. You're right. Maybe it's just me, but it sounds a little choppy.
Though I'm hooked up. Let me just. What the frig? Sorry. Here, talk about Jameson Williams some more.
Talk about Jameson Williams.
Let me work on this. This is gonna be.
Well, no, I guess here. I'll. So I was, one of the things I like to kind of look back on and check in on is your overall exposure, as I'm sure everyone else that does best ball drafts likes to do. But I'm realizing how Bills heavy I am. So
we're in everybody, and there's hold on, we're everybody, and there's still like 8 spots left. So If you want to get in, you can get in now. Underdog 7 now we're down to needing. So if you get in, join the chat. Let us know that you're in and waiting for us. I don't know if there's a number, but waiting for 6 people now. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I cut you off.
No, just overall highest exposure so far. Current best ball season following the draft. Keon Coleman overall, my first most highest exposed player at 36%, followed by Dalton Kincaid at tight end at 28%, Jonathan Brooks at 28% at running back, and then my highest owned quarterback is Josh Allen at 21%. I love the value this year on some of the elite quarterbacks, just because, last year, I think the market can overcorrect sometimes on what didn't work last year. And, that you could say that elite quarterback didn't work based on where you were taking them, but you're getting already a round and a half or 2-round discount on where you were taking them as opposed to last year. So I'm all in on the quarterback. So, all right, looks like we have the third pick.
Third pick. We're ready to roll. I don't know if I know any of these names. So I'm not sure if any of our listeners are in or if they're in. Let's see. Looking for a Stacy Perez. I was thinking she might have tried to jump in because I know she was tuning in. But no, I don't think I know anything. Third pick. And we're getting rolling here in 30 seconds. Your top 3. I mean, it's to me, it's McCaffrey, Lamb, and then I'm one of the 2 running backs, honestly. But I can really be taught. I'm not going to fight too bad if you are like, this is the guy I think's number 3, because I don't mind rotating this round at all.
So I think the no-brainer pick is Tyreek Hill. I do think he still is elite, and I think he could still have another elite season. If you want to be fun, I have no problem taking Bijan at 3, but I think it's a bit of a reach. I do. So
my whole thing, and this is just, this is good to talk this out. I don't see a thing as a reach in the first round. I just feel like there's really no such thing. What's that?
Yeah, you have to hit the pick.
Yeah. You pick your first rounder that you like the most, and it's, you're going to get your guy and whatever. I think with Hill, who's Miami now in week 17? Cleveland. I think there is part of this, and I don't know if you do this, but I do a little bit of what are the teams I feel like stacking tonight? A little, I kind of want to think about that early.
Oh, we have to go CD though. We gotta go CD.
Yeah,
makes it easy.
Good with CD, and that's fine.
Perfect.
All right. So CD's fun. Dallas is. Hold on, that's a good team. It's a team It's a team that I stack a lot. What is it? Oh, Philly. But they're tough. They're tough to stack with each other. You're not really going to get much. You're not going to get a perfect correlation game with them, which is fine. But there is a couple different options to do with that.
So I agree that it can be tough to stack them. Devonta Smith is definitely in play for us in our second, our second round pick. But one of the things, and here's another hat tip to our friend Mike Leone, who's going to be joining the show next week. One of the things he had just recently tweeted about was that weeks 15 and 16 are kind of underplayed as far as the importance goes in the market. And so I wonder if maybe we want to look towards that schedule. I just pulled it up. So Dallas in week 15 plays Carolina on the road. And then week 16, Dallas plays their home on Sunday Night Football against the Bucks. So we want to look at maybe the Bucks and the Panthers, which Mike Evans, maybe could fall to us there. We might want to think about that. He's spike week guy for sure.
I love stacking the Panthers this year. You know I'm high on Bryce. I think Deontay Johnson's going to be a great. I mean, like I want him in my main event teams and my fantasy, like any lineup leagues. I want Deontay Johnson in. I don't think he's got quite the ceiling that you want, especially where he's going. But man, I really think Deontay Johnson's going to be a top 20 wide receiver points per game.
Yeah, I like Deontay a lot.
Where is he going? Let's see. I mean, that might not be as much of a.
He's in the
he is going
50s, 60s. Oh, 70s.
Wide receiver 44. So, okay. Yeah, I think he's easily a top 20 wide receiver this year. Like, I just think that's he still has that. You saw what Bryce did with Thielen, who I feel like is like a poor man's Deontay Johnson, and older and whatever. I think Johnson still has a great year in him. I'm excited to see that offense this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at Carolina saying I think one of those three guys is going to be worthwhile in fantasy. I think the leader in the clubhouse is Deontay, but I'm also taking shots on Xavier Legette because I
love Legette.
He has draft capital, and listen, this is not about a draft prospect take. I just think overall, sometimes you take shots on guys and offenses that you think might be underappreciated and undervalued. So, all right, we're 2 picks away.
Yeah. I know that there could be people listening here. I don't really want to care too much about that, just because whatever, people pick what you want to pick. If what we're talking about is going to really switch people, then whatever. It's a $25 tournament. But I mean, I think you mentioned 2 of the names that are on here right now is Evans, Devontae Smith, and then you're getting all right, who just went off there? Debo, which is fine. I like Barkley a lot.
I would do Barkley. That's easy for me. I mean, again, we have to follow the ADP.
Oh yeah, CD Barkley. I mean, that's got to be pretty common, but whatever.
It's a good.
It might not be as common as. I mean, what's? Yeah, we got him 3 picks late, Barkley. So yeah.
I like we'll see what happens. I'm big into Neighbors, and so I'm gonna have a hard time passing up Neighbors if he's available, even over those other 2 guys, despite the stack potential. If Smith is there, I think we have to take it. If it's down to if it's down to Evans and Neighbors, I think I pick Neighbors.
I think I'm both the veterans over
there. Both
Evans.
Perfect.
I think I'm Smith over Neighbors. I could get on board with DK or DJ Moore just because they're the top of their depth charts, and then we have multiple stacking options. I'm not on Kyren, obviously. You're not either. No Cooper, no Diggs. I have Derrick Henry's another one that interests me, but
perfect. We have our pick of these next 2 guys.
Okay. Probably. Yeah, I say that, right? Whoever's left, and if there's both of them. Okay,
perfect. There's the Neighbors. There he is.
That's fine.
I got it.
I got an argument with somebody on Twitter. I know, shocker, but the thing is, it wasn't an argument, and it was Bradley Sadler, who he had just the day after he was on our podcast, he had just projected. He had showed 2 projections for Neighbors versus somebody that was going much behind him, and now I'm probably not going to be able to come up with a name. And just saying, but he just said this many yards or this many catches, this many yards. Why is this guy going 20? Back. What my biggest comeback was on that is there's no Barkley there. Jones has never had an alpha. Someone has to score touchdowns. Singletary, Gray, and Tracy aren't built for goal line work. I don't know, man. I'm with you on Neighbors. I don't know if he's gonna have 100 receptions or 1,000 yards, but I do feel like he could be that guy that goes 70 for 800 and 8 or 9. I don't even know if that justifies where we just took him, but I don't hate the upside.
I think he's almost a lock to have 1,000 yards. I just don't.
Whoa.
I mean, really, he's going to get peppered with targets.
I think his Vegas number is 750. Not that you could need to care
Oh,
about that, but
but I do care about that then because I do think he's going to be well over that. I just think that talent wins out. I think he's going to. I understand the quarterback limitations, but we've seen bad offenses support wide receivers in the past, and I could see him being a mid to high end wide receiver too, which would justify exactly where we took him. So
is no one's commenting, but I feel like that filled up in time. If anybody is watching us and in the draft, let us know who you are so we know what not to say around you.
yeah, I like the discussion, and
No, yeah, I don't mind talking. Yeah,
it's a
I
player that
honestly, all the
is
other draft streams that are like they block out names and they don't talk about what they're thinking. I'm like, I mean, if you're, I get in a big argument, in the leagues that you're with me with the 2 tight end leagues that I'm in one of those chats for 112 leagues, and you just know how active and how much of an asshole I am in that chat. But what the biggest thing I hate is during drafts, people will be like, if someone's like, hey, one more copy of this player, or this player is still available if you want to move up, the whole league loses their minds. Like, you shouldn't talk about somebody that's on the board. Like, shut the fuck up. You think that this person doesn't know who's available? Like, and again, it's a stupid, cheesy tactic to try to get people to move up, and I don't think it works. But don't talk like it's like breaking the biggest rule in the world. All right. Ooh, Hurts is exciting, maybe. And I hate him.
yeah, it's possible.
I hate him, but that's exciting with this build, I think.
Yeah, I think it would be an easy pick. I love ETN here too. And I also kind of like McLaurin setting up for a future pick later. So
Yep. I know
yeah,
what you're saying.
Hurts. It's just every pick has been easy for us. Just put Hurts in the
It's
queue and
Hurts,
just
right? I
yep,
think so.
yep.
But I do think that eliminates me for McLaurin next pick, because I'd only want him if we were pairing him with Daniels, and I'm not gonna do a Hurts Daniels build. So
Why would you not do Hurts Daniels Bill?
I think they're too strong. Of like, I don't think we need. I think we need like quarterback 20 to 30 right now, and that's it. Like on a 2 quarterback, like let Hurt. You gotta
Well,
if you're taking Hurts in the 4th, you gotta let him be your horse and trust that he's gonna be.
that's fair, but I mean that's fine. It doesn't happen anyways because he's taking it
Oh yeah,
47. McLaurin is. But I mean, Jaden Daniels, I think his ADP right now is like 103. So
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like
No, it's not great. I listen. I mean, when I'm mixing through 150, I'm trying to mix some builds and do crazy shit. And you remember my big BBM team last year was Kelsey Andrews,
Can
right?
you scroll down a little bit too, just here? I just want to see.
Yeah,
I think we need
yeah.
a wide receiver here.
I don't love
So
any in there.
all right, so maybe Kincaid. I'd love to get a tight end here. I think we need one of the elite tight ends. I think we have to snag Kincaid here. That's my vote.
I would be one of the to me, those are number 1 receivers. All 3 of those guys, I would be one of them.
Then if those, it's Hollywood Brown for me. So it's either
Okay.
Brown or
All right.
do the Q. Do the Q potentially.
All right.
You
I
almost
don't think
missed it. So
we're not going to get yet. We're not going to get him for Kincaid, but yeah, no, I again, I love Kincaid, and there he goes next pick. I love him. I don't love going strong wide or strong quarterback, strong wide receiver, and strong running back. Like we're going to be super weak at wide receiver. Then I feel like so. Even though I feel like wide receiver could be a little bit deeper, I don't think you could waste 3 of your top 5 picks at I don't think you should be at 4 positions if you're in your first 5 picks. And so I think we're gonna have to try to find tight end value. One, I hate Goddard, so that's not like somebody that I'm really looking for, but might make sense later on this team. Yeah.
See, I have such a strong position on getting one of those tight ends, and then for either forgetting about it, or if the room doesn't correct to take one of those top 7 guys through Kittle, I'm taking him, or even potentially sometimes even taking Ingram or Njoku. I love both of those guys. So
yeah, if Ingram's a possibility here with this next pick. Not even a possibility, for sure. We're at 70, he goes 78. I would jump on him. I would consider Kittle.
I mean, I would want Kittle over Ingram for sure, especially based on that Week 17 game.
Yep.
But I actually, as a talking point, I've been warming up to the idea of taking more Jacksonville players. I feel like it's an offense that might be a little bit underappreciated just based on the number of mouths to feed, right? In the offense, potentially, it's a kind of a difficult situation to figure out as to where the targets are going to go. You have Christian Kirk, who is maybe kind of a more of a number 2 wide receiver that isn't necessarily going to command the full amount of targets. And you have a rookie who is very highly drafted but doesn't run a ton of routes. So are you necessarily going to expect him to get 100 and 120 targets? I don't. So it's probably going to be spread among three guys, including Gabe Davis, and then maybe Ingram turns out to be just a casualty and his numbers dip down. But the guy had 120 something targets last year, 140 targets. Like, I mean, he's a target monster. So, all right, we're 4 picks away.
When I did a little bit of a checkup on my exposure the last couple weeks, I felt very underexposed on Ingram, and I've been trying to get more of them. To your point in that Jacksonville offense, I'm only taking Kirk when I'm building Jacksonville stacks. Or correlations at ADP. I'm full fading Brian Thomas Jr., as you know, and I'm trying to catch up now on Ingram, and I'm pretty heavy on Gabe Davis, and that's just a thing. And I think I've made this point a few times here, but just like when teams give people money, they find a way to give them the ball, and that was my point on Kirk last year. They paid Kirk a bunch of money. No one was really high on it, but I'm like, they gave him a lot of money. And I'm not saying that money just went away. I know that that's still a thing, but the latest new toy is Gabe.
So here, if we have one, we're 1 pick away here. That's the guy.
I thought I'd be worthy there too. Looking behind us, the 6-12 team doesn't have a tight end, and Ingram would be next. I think we don't play around. If you like,
I'm not gonna. I don't want to take him here, but let's risk it. No, okay. Don't risk. Yeah. So right. I would go Brian Thomas here.
Really?
Yep.
Oh God, I'm gonna do it if I can get there. Oh, I hate it. Did I do it? Yeah. I hate it.
That's fine. We're gonna be great because trust me, we're gonna get Ingram at 75, and then you're gonna love it.
I feel like this guy is going to get him taking.
You're not going to take him.
Yeah. What does he have here? I'm trying to look at his team. McCaffrey, Jacobs. I don't love his team so far, so we'll see. He's not going quarterback anytime soon. He's going to go the cheap quarterback. So this is either going to be a tight end or one of the running backs. He might even auto here. Deontay. No, that wasn't an auto.
No, he's not going. I'm telling you, he's not going Ingram. He's not doing it. So we're going to get him at 75. So just lock it in. And then
T-Law.
We are going to be passing on Keon Coleman. So I don't know how I feel about that.
This will suck. Well, he's not going to go.
There it is.
There it is. That's fine. Then I'm putting T-Law in the queue, and that's our quarterback situation. It's just
That's
those
fine, but let's not
No,
be,
yeah, I mean, we don't have to. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we don't need to be pigeonholed into that. I'm just saying that I'd be fine with just those two guys. I don't. Jacksonville and Philly.
Tennessee is potentially a stack partner, so we're definitely going to take Tajay Spears again. That's guaranteed to happen.
It's hard not to when we're together. Jacksonville, do you have Phillies by anywhere by you?
Phillies by is 6, I think. It should be down. Just scroll down on the right side on Hertz.
Oh yeah, you're right. 5. Okay, that's fine.
5. Okay.
Yeah, so that works if we ended up those two. But you're right. Tennessee becomes available now. Opens up. Chig later. Hopkins go already. Yeah, he just went, right?
Yep.
And who else is there? Yeah, nobody really. Boyd or Burks. But Chig may be a little bit later.
No, it's just about getting Tajay, in my opinion. I mean,
it's always about getting Tajay, in your opinion.
And just stick to your player takes. Another thing about this draft season too, reminding yourself about how you felt maybe even prior to the rookie draft about the rookies last year. So, Charbonnet, I can't get off of drafting Charbonnet. I know that Kenneth Walker is nice, and I like drafting him too. Don't get me wrong. He's electric. He can definitely provide the big plays, but Charbonnet is, if he gets, let's say if Walker gets hurt, I mean, that guy is easily an RB2, high-end RB2.
Charbonnet is a top 5 value for me right now. I mean, legit. Just he's 100% one of the best values in Dynasty, or sorry, in best ball right now. No doubt about it. He might outscore, like, I see a scenario where where Kenneth Walker stays healthy and he outscores him, and he's going how many rounds later. I like Kenneth Walker. I'm drafting him plenty around there. I don't love him burst the players that he goes against, but if I need a running back there, I'm fine with it. I would have gone Kenneth Walker instead of Brian Thomas when we took Thomas. And I'm fine where we ended up too, but I would have taken Kenneth. So what I'm saying is I don't hate Kenneth Walker, but Charbonnet where he is, like, love it.
Yep. That's why sometimes when I'm breaking ties, what can you get later that you can't get right now?
Yep.
I try, you're not going to get a first round rookie wide receiver on an offense that just vacated a lot of targets from Calvin Ridley leaving. And on a prospect who was thought by many, widely regarded scouts to be pretty much the, next tier of wide receiver, right? In a tier of his own behind the big 3 in this class. So I'm definitely all about taking shots on Brian Thomas, regardless, in this, like I said, especially in a format like best ball where it doesn't matter about weekly management. So, all right. So we're 3 picks away.
I like Jaylen Warren. We could go. I hate the idea of Dak here. I don't hate Curtis Samuel.
He goes.
Man, this is tough here. Pollard. Benson.
Let's just go Jaden Daniels right now. Let's do it. Lock in QB2 and be done.
No.
All right, then Tyler Lockett's my next vote.
Oh God, I hate you. Dubs, no. All right.
I mean, if you really don't want to go quarterback, then
I know. You know who I want here though. Next pick is one of these two guys, Shaheed or Benson.
All right.
No Burrow, no Dak, no Pollard's not horrible because of the Tennessee thing, but that means that we would have to take. I would almost, I mean, we would have to take Spears here if we really wanted him. But I'm not taking Spears over Benson.
No, I'm not doing
right?
that. No,
right?
No, he's not in consideration right now. He has to fall. He's gonna if we're gonna
have to fall. He's not. Yeah, and I don't think he's gonna fall those.
I'm not gonna hitch my wagon to that.
Okay.
No.
I also don't hate the idea of Pollard. You don't like him though.
Oh, see, there goes Daniels. I do like Njoku to get a second tight end here because I think the rest of them are kind of useless because I think he's the next of the guys that could I mean, Fryer, maybe we wait. We're not,
I
we
don't
don't have
hate
high on the
waiting.
guys.
I don't hate waiting. I would love to see if we could get Goddard at 118,
All right, so
and then
let's wait.
we're done.
So yeah, it's probably Benson or bust right now. So
I feel that way, right? How far away are we? One pick.
and he's definitely going to fall to us. He's been falling in these drafts a lot. Um,
Yeah,
This is our Dak draft, or this is our Lamb team, isn't it?
yes.
I mean,
Yes. But I know I was thinking of Dak, and this is a little bit about I can't. You know what I also hate is the two.
Dallas, Philly for that game. I mean, not to
But
have
I
that
hate
stat.
having two quarterbacks in that game because then you're literally like I'll explain it later.
All
But
right, fine.
Benson,
Then pull Benson. Do it.
okay. Let
I get the
me.
next pick.
So no, this is why I've tried to do or try to avoid the two quarterbacks week 17 because if it is the 38-35 game that we're all hoping for, right? When we stack, you're leaving 40 points on the bench or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So
I do.
so that is where my I used to all the time. I really did. I used to go with that correlation where I was like, okay, week 17, I'll take all the wide receivers, all the quarterbacks in that game, but I will do running backs and wide receivers, tight ends, all that time, whatever you want to go back and forth. But if it's a 38-35 game and those two quarterbacks go off, you are leaving 30 some points on your
I,
bench. To me,
I
that's
get
not
that, and I think that that's an outcome that you definitely want to try and avoid. But the bigger concern that I have, or the way that I push back against that, is I say, well, all right, what am I getting at pick 100 that I'm if I as opposed to not taking, right? And you're also comparing against the other previous week, weeks 1 through
Yep,
14 to even get
yep,
into,
yep.
So you have that
That is
stat.
the point. That's a good point. You don't
So
want to totally lose that.
so it's something where I look at that, I'm like, all right, yeah, it's not ideal to have in the same game, but if one of the two, it's only one of the two that goes off, and I have both of them, there could be worse things 'cause you're still getting all of those points, and you're likely then having a stack, in and of itself. So I typically just do it anyways. So
We're really hoping for two of these top three guys, Taji, Goddard, Lawrence, I guess, in my head, is what we would be really hoping for here. And I mean, Taji would have to fall, but I think that's what we're going to want to. I think that makes sense for the team. Where are you at on Mitchell in Indianapolis?
I have definitely been taking, I think, a good amount of him. Let me check the exposure. It feels like I've been taking a good
I
amount of
like
him
him
because,
and Corum.
I like Corum a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Mitchell goes, yeah, he's my fourth highest owned receiver at 23%, so pretty high.
Okay. Singletary, I think, would be a value here. 7 picks later would be what we would be. Yeah, he's pretty much
No, Singletary. I
I
can't.
don't hate
Out of
him.
principle, I just can't take Singletary. It's just I can't do it.
I think our Q, the Chardonnay behind it, Chardonnays would have to be next round, but I think. And we could do. I think Brandon Cooks needs to be in this conversation. So these top 5 guys, I think, is what we're hoping for. 2 of them, hopefully. Brian Robinson Jr., no interest. Purdy, no interest. If
I would say, no, great.
Spears.
There goes Spears. I would say no interest in Purdy based on what we are currently constructed to be, and there he goes.
There he
anyway.
went.
Robinson, I do have some interest, but not over Corum. I'd still take Corum over him.
I think so. I think I'm hoping for Goddard here. And then we could be done with tight ends and then hope. But where's Lawrence? I mean, Lawrence is the next quarterback. What do we there's one team with no quarterback behind us and one team with no tight end behind us. So what do we care about more? To me, it's Goddard. A little bit more than Lawrence. Oh, there goes Corum. I'll let you make that call. It's to me, it's 50-50, and we might have that choice
To
made to us.
me, I always try to shore up my tight ends where I can. I think
Okay.
there's always better value at quarterback later in the draft. I think tight end is so tough.
And to me, that means we're done
yes.
then too, right? Like we don't have to draft a third one now. Is the way I
Correct.
would
Yeah, I'm
feel
fine.
here.
I'm fine
Yeah.
staying away. Yep.
All right, that's perfect. I like that. Oh, did Lawrence go? Oh yeah, Lawrence
did.
went. All right, so Cooks make sense here.
I don't love it. I really don't.
I don't love him. Judy, I know you like Judy.
Love Judy.
Yeah, I don't hate Judy. I don't really like either of those running backs. I don't hate Myers. Zeke Eckler.
Nope. None of
Do
those
we have
guys.
any? Gabe. I mean, we don't have the quarterback.
Well,
but
we wouldn't get Charbonnet if we don't take him now. So it's either Judy or Charbonnet, and Judy just went, so I'd take Charbonnet.
I'm with you, Charbonnet. We're taking him what? Yeah, not too early.
No, 10 picks ahead of ADP, which
no, not when you're at the end. That's nothing. I like.
We need a third running back for sure. Running backs, I guarantee. How many are going to go between 18 picks away? I'm going to say 17 now. I'll say 9 are going to go between now and then.
Yeah, there's a lot of green in this section here.
Let's count them. I'm going to count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think
there's one. So one out of 17. Just one.
Oh man, I am bleeding profusely from my toe. Don't ask. I don't know what I did. I've just been sitting here, but my toe is bleeding profusely. If I tell you to call 911, make sure Kyle Turner doesn't show up to my house to take care of me. All right. So we're done with tight end. The quarterback situation hurt a little bit, but not much. I mean, we'll still be able to do DJ or Gino. I hate both of those options.
No, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Jalen Polk next, and we're going to take Drake May.
Oh, I hate so many players you like. Why are we doing this together? I know I love Jalen Polk. My whole thing what's your bet? And I don't feel like I have a really good read on this, so I'm just kind of joking around, but like I don't know if Brissett's 4-3, are they gonna get off? Like what's gonna take them to get off of Brissett?
I don't think Brissett starts the season. I don't think he does.
Oh wow, that's great. To me, that's great.
Maybe it's a hot take.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's too much of a hot take. I think I think that people kind of overvalue preseason depth charts. And of course, he's the veteran and is going to get the chance. But yeah, no, I don't think it'd be shocking at all to have Drake May start week 1. He does seem like the rawest of the group to me.
Maybe he is, but there's so many ways that a coach could talk his way into starting a rookie, especially if he has a couple of, splash moments. Like, he has a locker room to protect against, right? He doesn't want to, start a guy that just because, they're set on this plan, right? Drake May comes in, shows that he's, the guy that, of course, right? That's an easy scenario to point out, but I can see it happening is what I'm saying. And I'm going to bet more often than not on the New England offense, only just for the sole fact of how cheap they are right now. I mean, it's just so nice to be able to pair that, or, even LA, right? A Chargers stack here. So, there's a couple options.
I like the idea of, no, it didn't have. I like the idea of Cousins Mooney with these two things.
Really?
Yeah, I don't hate. I mean, the only thing is there's just really nothing after Mooney. Rodgers probably has more, but I hate Rodgers' upside. I don't hate Polk. I don't hate Pearsall with the Ayuk things. coming up, and I love Kendra. So honestly, I think any of those top 3 guys make the most sense for us right here.
I would go Polk, Kendre, Purcell is my vote. So if you got to switch it, you got to do it quickly.
No, I like Polk.
Yeah,
I don't hate that idea. Are you against? You against doing? I kind of am, but I think there's situations where this might work. What about like adding May and Brissett to this team, and then just having
no,
no.
I don't want to waste those points. I'd say you just take your stab and go with it. If Kendre falls, we got to take him.
I'm either of those top 2 guys. I'm
Kendre
yeah.
easily. I mean, I can't believe he's fallen almost 12. He's 11 picks past ADPs. I mean, I guess that's not that surprising, but
no, I'm fine with that. All right, so let's look at our team right now. I forget
we're a 2-6-8-2 build. Definitely, is what we're setting.
I want to go over this again because without Allie here, I forgot that we have audio listeners. So we have 1-3. We went CeeDee Lamb, 2-10 Saquon Barkley, 3-3 Malik Neighbors, 4-10 Jalen Hurts, Hollywood Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., blah, Evan Ingram, Tyler Lockett, blah, Trey Benson, Dallas Goedert, Zach Charbonnet, Jalen Pope, Kendra Miller. I mean, I like this team a lot. I would have liked it a lot more if we would have gotten Lawrence. I guess not. I mean, it's you gotta hope that Jalen Hurts is your number 1 every week, right? So I guess that really wasn't as essential as I thought it might be. I'm fine. I'm glad with that team. If you're right, I have no Brian Thomas Jr. So again, to your point in the beginning of the episode, one of the cool things about drafting together is it gets you off of some of your preconceived notions where if I didn't draft with you, I might not have any Brian Thomas Jr. So if he does pop off, I will be like, my man Ryan Mura's boy.
No, instead you'll be like, actually, I was the big Brian Thomas guy all along. And
I will put like my face over your audio.
No, yeah, exactly. We'll get AI voice generated. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So I still love Jermaine Burton. I think he's going to continue to fall because of the news that Higgins is going to be back in all likelihood. So I still, think that the wide receiver 3 role in the Bengals offense is worthwhile, right? Especially because you have spotty production from Higgins throughout his career anyways. Demario Douglas, you start to follow some of these camp reports of players that are standing out and it sounds like he does. So a stack partner with Polk, picking the 2 guys that might be the biggest beneficiaries. And again, Louis, what we're looking for right now, in my opinion, is not necessarily a quarterback that's going to carry us through the first couple of weeks of the season. It's a guy at the end that we could maybe have a couple of spike weeks from. So in all honesty, I think he's the perfect quarterback for this build. You don't need someone through the first couple of weeks of the season other than Jalen Hurts' bye week, right?
I was just going to say, there's my counterpoint is that Jalen Hurts has the week 5. I do think I don't disagree with that decision, and I would like to get that here. I do think I might want. Oh, there goes Douglas, and that kind of changes things for me a little bit here. There's really nobody else to pair him with besides Javon Baker, who I think is I like the idea of Wandale and Daniel Jones.
I'm in for that, but if Burton's there, we have to take him. So
somebody
so
take.
We just have to. I mean, come on, we can't. He's
not in the top 4. He'll be no better than 5th in receiving weapons for Cincinnati this year.
Fair enough, but he's also just counterpoint 15 spots ahead of ADP. So the market is telling you that Burton,
yeah.
you know.
And all it takes is a week 17
with the Denver partner that we still have available to us. So we could always take Bo Nix in the last round, and that's a super interesting pairing. So
I don't hate him, but wait, why? What do we have in Denver?
We have Cincinnati, Denver, week 14.
Oh, okay.
Week 17, excuse me.
Yeah.
Please let it happen now. Don't take it, Clarky.
I hope he takes it so much.
Don't do it. Don't
I want Wandell and DJ so bad. But we can still probably. Oh my God, he did. I hope he's watching. Thank you. Clarky. Thank you, Clark Key, if you're watching.
Yeah, Clarky just secured us the 1.5 mil. So thanks.
With our Wandell, with our Giants stack. All right, so I'm off of May on DJ. And are we good with just 2 quarterbacks then? I kind of am.
I'm definitely not taking more than 2 quarterbacks in this build. We need 6 running backs, and we need 8 wide receivers.
Yep. I love that. I just don't want to lose out on DJ here. I think we can get him next. We'll get him next round, but we won't take him here. But I'm not gonna play around next round.
Come on, dude. You cannot trust me. People do not want to take Daniel Jones, especially if they don't have neighbors.
Let's see where we have. Let's see where we're at with quarterbacks.
We'll take him in round 18.
We need to figure out what we're gonna do here.
What we're gonna do here is Bucky Irving or Franklin.
I like Franklin
or Bucky Irving, but I kind of like Bucky Irving here because I think running back dries up quicker, and we might get.
Dobbins? What about Dobbins?
I hate Dobbins. It's got to be Irving, or it's got to be Bucky. Bucky Irving. Just put the Q on him.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh,
crap. No. Oh my God. Sorry.
Dude, you got to just click Q, click the star, and then it goes.
It goes on, but I had what's his face in front of him.
Daniel Jones at 171.
That's fine. We're fine. We're gonna take him no matter what.
26 picks before ADP. There goes this 1.5 up in flames. I'm not paying you for this one.
When he goes off for 3 touchdowns in the first game.
Oh my God, dude, so bad, so bad.
I hated Bucky Irving. And there goes Franklin. God damn it. I think Clark Key is watching us.
Might be, but I mean, what are we doing? How do you not get that in there? Come on, just click the star.
Because even if I click the star, he was behind.
Then
Jones.
Move him up.
I know.
Oh
that's what I needed to do.
I'm so frustrated. I hate Daniel Jones.
Tyrone Tracy, I hate.
Yeah, how are you not putting him on the list?
Who, Tyrone Tracy?
Yeah.
You want me to?
The Jets or the Giants stack? I mean, come on, let's go. We got to get a couple more Giants.
Oh yeah. He's gonna be a.
You had to take Daniel Jones 26 picks ahead of
Hey, listen, when you need your boy, you need your boy.
Oh my gosh, you sound like Dave Gettleman.
We do need to. We do need 2 running backs. 100%. We need 6 running backs on this build. Because if Charbonnet or Miller don't. I like both of those guys, though. But Benson's even scary. So, yeah, we got to get a couple guys. And then we don't really need anything at wide receiver if we don't want to. But I say 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, right? We got 16, 17, 18. So, all right. I was just going to say Bateman's becoming a – well, here, I'm just going to go to running back and wide receiver so we don't even get tempted with anything else. McCaffrey, no, for me. Do you have any interest?
No, I'm a meh on him. He's getting pushed up just because of his last name.
Javon Baker, just because of the.
Yeah, I like McMillan too, just because he's getting some camp buzz.
He had some form of Tampa Bay correlation.
No.
Week 15 or something when we were looking.
Oh, right, with
Philly.
Yeah. Or no, with Dallas. I'm sorry, with Dallas.
Yeah. Do you like Dameon Pierce at all? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I love him.
I like Dameon Pierce.
pushing Damian Pierce for months. I honestly can't figure out why.
I don't get it.
Like he's the RB2 in Houston. What's not to like? I mean, Jawar Jordan, right? Is
from a like behind a guy who's been injury prone, and is he good? Like Joe Mixon hasn't even proved that he's really good. If J.K. Dobbins is here, I'm not even going to ask you what to do. And I know I fucked up the DJ thing, but Dobbins is insane value in the fucking 16th round.
Dobbins is a absolute landmine of a pick, and I'll be damned if. And I'm an Ohio State guy, so this tells you. I mean, I used to love J.K. Dobbins, so like, don't get me wrong, but that guy does not have it anymore. He has no juice left. That guy is on his last leg. That guy's going to fall apart in any.
J.K. Dobbins and Sam Darnold are going to win me so much fucking money this year.
And Laviska Shenault is going to have his.
I did not say Laviska. I said Irv Smith. You said.
Oh right. Sorry, another.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I don't want to be on record about saying anything about Irv Smith. Come on, you're going to get him at 9.
Somebody take him, please. I'm begging you. Shambles.
All right, in our queue, who would you take over him? I mean, I know
everybody. Allen, Jalen McMillan, Javon Baker, Rashawn Johnson, all of them over. I am not on J.K. Dobbins at all.
I will pass on him at 16-10 if he's there at 17-2. I'm not asking you anything.
Fine.
Or 17-3.
Fine. He's going to be there because everyone realizes how bad.
I'm good with then. If that's the case, then I'm good with Roschon here, probably.
I mean, I think we're running out of receivers here, so I would rather take McMillan here and just be done with receiver, and then just take running back to end it out. I don't want any of those other receivers, so I'd rather go McMillan here.
All right, I'm fine with that. I don't have a lot of him either.
Yeah, McMillan. Godwin. I still think could be traded. Just throwing it out there. I wouldn't be surprised. And
I don't think it's traded, but I do think that there's a really good chance that one of those guys gets hurt, right? Like,
or there's so many outs for McMillan, and if he's sounding like a performer in camp, which again you have to take everything with a grain of salt, but I'd like to. Some positive buzz is better than nothing, right? So you hear that and you say, all right, let's start taking dart throws at the end of the 16th round. Sure. Oh, good. There goes Dobbins. Awesome. So we can now take a better player.
If McMillan would have been there at 17-3.
I don't think so. I think Spartan operator. Look at how many receivers just went.
I was like, why don't I have a badge?
All 3 receivers went, 1 running back went. So I would say Roschon.
Yes. I'm still keeping Javon Baker. I'm gonna still keep Javon Baker there. Herbert would have to be under consideration at that type of value. CEH, sure.
Yep.
Tolbert because of Dallas, maybe. I don't know. I don't love Tolbert, but I mean,
nope, not into him. I'd take Slayton before him because we have
Bigsby.
Sure. I'm pretty much off of Bigsby. I think if
even in the 18th round.
I mean, only because there's other guys that are lower than him that are more interesting to me, like Dylan Labe. He has to
I'm Madison over Labe. You're Labe.
Madison is absolutely terrible. That guy, he's not good at football. It's just
he has a way easier path to actual points than Labe does.
I agree, but again, we're looking for a guy that could have by the end of the season. I'm trying to predict, like, there's so many shit. Like, what do teams want to do at the end of the season? They want to see what they have in their players, right? So
yeah. If you want to know who my guy is there, it's been constantly pretty much is my guy is Sermon, but
fine. I'm fine taking. I wanted obscure, a guy.
It's definitely Damian Pierce or CEH though. If for some reason they fall, correct?
CEH is never. No, I mean, come on. I'm not doing that anymore.
He's the number 2. Oh, I was gonna say there he goes, but he's the number 2 guy. What are you talking about?
It's gonna be Reese Zammit, or it's gonna be some
No,
other guy that they
no,
signed. That guy, come on,
that dude is
Edward
not
Blair.
making
It's
the
time
team.
for a new hyphenated name. All right, you've had enough run. You know, it's Reese Zammit now. Get with the times. All right.
I don't hate Dante Foreman, but it's early, not late. That's like an early play, not a late play.
It's the
So
nicest thing that anyone has ever said about Dante Foreman.
it really is. I don't hate him. His mom even doesn't say. I love Estime too, but
I love Estimate, but I feel like I need to give myself a heat check on Estimate because I just keep taking
before your 75% exposure, and
yeah before he turns into Zach Evans on me.
Yeah.
So Shipley is interesting here. I know we have Barkley, but I don't hate the idea that there might be two guys in that offense and the lesser owned guy. And let's say something happens on a torpedo, to Barkley in week 15, and we still have Shipley. Like that would be cool.
Another thing about Shipley too is that I with Hurts, I think he'll be the one that's going to be
passing touchdown.
Yeah.
Yep. I love. I mean,
is there any wide receiver? I'm going to put the wide receiver tab up here. Is there any way that we'd want to go wide receiver? I don't think so.
It's going to be ugly. No, it's ugly.
Hyatt. I'd really want to consider him.
I don't think I want. I think I want 6 running backs with this build. I'm not confident in.
I'm not too confident in him. I think you're right.
That's my only thing. Otherwise, I love a 9 wide receiver build and just try to like smash that. But I don't think we have the horses for it in the running back room. So
yeah, I think you're probably right there. So am I putting yours as Thurman, Shipley, CH? Is that
mine is Shipley, Sermon, and then a large crater size hole.
I'm only giving you Shipley because of the Daniel Jones mistake.
That's fair. That's fair. We probably could have gotten him right now at 214. I'm pretty sure. Seriously, people don't want to take Daniel Jones, and why would you? The guy is trash. I mean, he's
could go lock right here. We could go lock.
Oh, thank God, CH. Clarky is definitely listening. We have to find out his
He's a badge player though, so that's fine. He could if a badge player is listening to us, I appreciate it. All right, Shipley's the pick.
Yes, let's do it.
Fine.
Correlation wise, yeah, it's a fun team. It's not perfect. We have Daniel Jones, so of course it can't be a perfect team. But
I'll go through the team one more time. Quarterback, we got Jalen Hurts and our boy Daniel Jones. Oh, God damn it. Just went away. Hold on. It knew I was right when I was saying Daniel Jones team. It was not. Hold on. Let me change this team name as we are here. Oh, we're on live and stuff. Okay. Analytics are for the nerds. All right. Jalen Hurts, our boy DJ, Saquon Barkley, Trey Benson, Zach Charbonnet, Kendra Miller, Roshan Johnson, Will Shipley. Charbonnet, Miller, and Johnson are just 3 guys I'm hitting way too much. And I'm glad you were on board with all of those. And I feel like are on the same page. But maybe that is our little bit of dynasty love.
We're totally. I mean, it's a number of different reasons. It's opportunity, right? You're 1 player away. And I mean, especially in Miller's case, there's no question that Kamara could be either on the block or, they're going to be looking to get out of him at some point. And then Johnson too. I think that Khalil Herbert's going to get cut or moved. So, he could be the number 2 as soon as tomorrow. So we'll see.
Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Hollywood Brown, Brian Thomas, Tyler Lockett, Jalen Pope, Wandell Robinson, Jalen McMillan.
That's a good deep room. I think
it's a deep room. I've made fun of myself for predicting the cliff that Tyler Lockett is going to fall off of here for like the last decade. He hasn't. Brian Thomas is not my favorite, but I'm glad I got some piece of him. Ingram and Goddard, I kind of love that. Yep. I think Ingram is really good. I think Ingram is really good and having another great year. And as much as I hate Goddard, this is the way to get some exposure to him, right? Like a Jalen Hurts team, and a second tight end. You're not counting on him too much. I like what we did there. It's easy to say that because I like everything we do, but that was a good little draft.
It's fun.
An hour and 20 minutes. Got 105 people live right now. We should let them go to sleep. I want to go to sleep. Next week we will have Mike Leone with us, the great Mike Leone. And then we're going to start doing some Scott Fishbowl stuff. We got Nate Geary coming on, hopefully with us here in a couple weeks from WGR, and he'll be in one of our drafts. We're going to do a lot of that talking. We're going to be live from Fatty Beer on July 14th. That's in just a couple weeks. So we'll be doing our podcast from there. Allie will be running things. Me and Ryan will be drafting. We'll have a bunch of guests that day. Probably 36. We got 3 drafts going that day, so probably 36 different people will be stopping in, talking with Allie. We encourage anybody that's local, come out, have fun. I'm don't know, because you know me, I'm always last second, but we may have t-shirts by then. The podcast is coming up with some t-shirts. I was getting some designs back today between the designer. We'll see if they're ready, and we'll be selling them there at the event for to go towards the cause. And they don't say analytics are for the nerds. They just have my face and my phone number in case you have any hot friends.
It was left over from the speed dating event. So,
wait.
Listen, just quickly before we get off topic. That's fine. Just quickly, if anyone that's listening has access to donations for either gift cards or things that we can raffle off at the Scott Fishbowl draft in Buffalo, that's local, or any of them, really, please just get in touch with us. We'll find a way to get you in touch with the right people and raise money for a good cause. So that's the only thing I wanted to add, but go ahead.
No, please. And reach out to us. And if you have any way or own a business or whatever, and can donate something for it, we'll bring you in. We'll buy your ticket. We'll buy you a couple beers too and have a good time with you. You come on, be on the podcast with Allie. And that's worth at least $50 itself, right? 2 funny things, because we can't just do football talk. I really wanted an Allie Everything and Nothing episode today because of did you see oh my god, the bankruptcy. The Raiders head coach's wife filed for bankruptcy, and so they're coming after him. I mean, they're married still, so like she was the one that filed it, but because he's a guarantor on all the stuff, and obviously being a husband, they're coming after him, and he's basically going to be working for free this year. Because can you just imagine being in that role? And that's kind of,
and what makes it worse is that Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell are your quarterbacks. So that's horrible.
well, he doesn't have money to go get anybody else, so that's it's gonna be
Tom Brady is a part owner. Just saying.
Oh my god, you're right. Listen, I'll give you a loan. You got to let me be the quarterback.
He's a divorcee too. He gets it. He understands.
He definitely understands. And then the second thing, just funny story that I would have told you off air, but it's a really, I know I talk about my personal life a lot, so it's kind of hilarious. I found out that me and my ex-wife, obviously, we're going through marriage counseling after we decided to separate to see if we can't make things work. And obviously it didn't. We both get along great. She's one of my favorite people in the world. We went to we maybe even talked about this like on this show. Like we went to this dude that like he rented a room in like the library. Like he didn't actually have like an office for like like I feel like he just showed up and like kind of just like put his diploma like on a library. He like showed up with a hammer and then every week. And he was like, this is what I do to save you guys money, is like instead of renting an office and having to charge more, I rent a room at a library for free and we do this. And I was like, you're weird, whatever. And the whole time, like, when you're trying to work something out with your wife and you think you're always right and you're like, no, this is some weird shit, like trust me. She's like, no, it's not, you just don't want to go to therapy. Long story short is a year later now, I have been proved right because my ex sent me a screenshot today that he tried to match with her on a dating site and 100% knew who she was. He was supposedly married when we were going there. I think this is all a scam. I think this guy just goes to libraries, rents rooms, says he could be marriage counselors so he could find himself a future wife. Who am I to talk about relationships with therapists, as we all know? But this seems
in an unrelated note, we're introducing you now to Louis' new business, On the Go Therapy with Louis G. He's gonna just rent office spaces, but it's all up front because if you match with him on Bumble, that's I mean, what is going on?
It's well, listen, I had a lot of fun tonight. I'm glad we got to do this, even though we said we weren't going to. So fun time. If you guys drafted with us, we appreciate it. Reach out to us about Scott Fishbowl donations. Tune in next week. We're going to probably go long. Don't tell Ellie. But we're going to have a fun episode with Leone. So we're going to strap him in for a while. Maybe we do another draft and talk a lot of shit. For Ryan Muir, I'm Louis G, and Dally Brady, becoming famous on the stage. This has been Analytics for the Nerds. Thanks for joining us. Bye.